Okay, so I've been searching all over the interweb and can't find anything that fits in that exact same spot. So I'm going to take these apart, or at least one of these apart, and see if I can't get it to work again. So I'll show you what I'm doing once I get this off of here, and then we'll take it over to the bench and do some testing. Really, guys? You hand twist up over here, but then when it comes to a place where you can't get to, you end up using a crimp connector that won't go through that tiny little hole. Okay. Wonderful. Okay, we're going to see what it takes to take this thing apart. And so, let's see. I guess we're going to start with taking off this back plate and then pull this wire out. Well, it's not really a plate, it's just rubber. And we'll take this wire out. Notice there's some scuffs in that wire, so I think I'm going to have to rewire this thing. Then I pull this out, and there's a little, looks like a felt washer here. Then a spring, then another felt washer, and then it's just kind of crimped in here on the end. I don't know if you can see that very well, but there it is. And then there's just this metal piece that appears to be all one piece of metal all the way back, so there should be a ground back through this all the way back to the truck. So I guess step one is going to be to rewire this thing with a longer wire so that I can get it into the truck far enough to make it one piece. So, where are my wires and what size is this? Let me see here. Now I've lost tools. Where did they go? I'm going to go check over here in the truck. Alright. Okay, here we go. So, I'm just going to snip this off back, go maybe ½ inch in. And I'm kind of guessing that, you know, this way it can stay, the connection point can stay somewhere in here and still operate with that spring and stuff. Maybe I should be looking at that, huh? So there's the spring. There's this other washer. That thing is all that about that long. So if I clip this thing, I need to be on this side of that washer because that butts up right here to this back edge. So I'm going to clip it maybe more right here where it's already split, because that's all crap. Ooh, there's some other stuff in here that ain't very good either. Alright, what size is this wire? It's not 14. Looks like it's a 16 gauge. Yep. Alright, so we got a 16 gauge wire. So let's find our new 16 gauge wire. What is this one? Thanks for not marking. Let's see. I think this is 18. Let's try this next one up. This one's 16 gauge. Alright. And we'll go with, well, it's black coming off of here, so I suppose I'll put black going onto there, huh? And just continue on with what they've been doing. So I need a length that's this, that, and let me go grab that other piece to make sure I have enough length to get to where I need to go, which is going to be that. That got me to where it was. So I'm going to cut a piece that's slightly longer than that. And then we'll put this back. Somehow or another. There we go. Okay, now we'll throw that aside. Strip off a little bit of here. Wrap these two together. Set that down right about there. Grab my solder. Grab my soldering iron. And then we get to wait for this to warm up, huh? Big fun. Ah, there it goes. And now we wait. And if I was smart, I would have had this already on there, huh? That way I don't have to redo it later. And then I'll have to fix that later. How long is this going to take? Probably going to be 10 minutes before this even warms up. I'll just let that sit there and warm up for a while. And while that's going on, let's find our shrink wrap. There we go. It's the problem with this old soldering iron, it's slow to warm up. And close it. So what I can do if I can figure out something to make this up and leather. If I start small. I just don't want to heat the fire or get solder. Ah, this wire is so frickin' twisted, it makes it difficult to mess with. I think the soldering iron barely gets hot enough to to even melt the solder. Look at that. I mean, how bad does it gotta be? It can't even melt solder. What do you think? Is that going to be on there? Oh, that should be tight enough. I can't bust it loose. Okay, so that wire is soldered back together with a single piece that should be easier to string in through the truck, hopefully. Next part. How do we get this all to work so that it'll light up? Alright, so I am going to... I'm not going to strip a little piece off until I get it closer into the truck. Or I could, I guess. Let me strip just a small, teeny tiny little piece off that I can save for later. That way I can test everything once I'm done. So, what size will work? Will that fit on there? Looks like that one will fit on there. Now I just need something to get it to shrink. Get the old handy. There we go. Alright. That is done. Now let's see here. Where can I find a wire brush? Oops, don't smash the spring. Yeah, that one's pretty nasty. Let's see. Do I got a new one somewhere? Maybe just not handy. Alright. Well, let's just string this back together and then we'll go back to the... see if we can get this thing to actually work. Put that in here. Boy, did I bend that spring? Okay. Ooh, I need to clean out the inside of this thing too. Maybe that's part of my problem. What can I use for that? Well, I'll be back in a minute when I find something I can use. Okay, it appears my Dremel has a small enough brush that it'll work pretty well on this thing. So here, let's see how that works. Alright, shall we see if that's cleaned up enough to light a light bulb? And grounding enough to light a light bulb? Alright, that moves a little bit smoother anyway. Okay, let's hope that's enough wire to get there. And let's see, that has to go through that hole, slip into there, and then that can sit. That has to go in somehow and then bend, so let's hope that that holds. Okay, now we need a bulb. There it goes. Alright, that could probably be a little tighter. Let me go get a pair of needle nose. And we'll squeeze this down a little bit tighter so that it holds that bulb a little better. Alright, does that fit in there now? Yep. Okay, let's go give this thing a smoke test and see if it works. Once I put that wire back through there, that back onto there, then we'll see. Okay, there we go. Let's go test. Okay, let's do the smoke test. So, if I put this on the negative, and I put this on the positive, woohoo! There's light. So that's working. Alright, so now I should be able to get that to ground out on top of the truck. And we'll see if we can't get her to light up again. Let's try that again. Ooh, now why is it not working? Oh, there it is. So it all just needs a good ground. Okay. Alright, next step, put it back on the truck and let's see if we can't get this to light from inside or back on the truck. Well, here's my new problem. The new wire is bigger than my old hole. So, looks like I gotta ream that out. I'll talk to you in a bit. Okay, the old hole was 7/64, so we took out an 1/8 inch drill bit and we'll try that. Is that any better? Ooh, that's a nice snug fit, but it does fit through. Alright, perfect, 1/8 inch. So here's my next problem. I'm not getting a good ground through this body. See how nothing is happening? How am I going to fix that problem? I don't know. Okay, well here's a way to do it. Maybe. Bit stronger. There's more places to contact anyway. So what I did was I took it over the wire wheel and I polished it a bit. Now let's try it again. Okay. Looks like we're finally getting a decent ground. Okay, yeah, you can see how that's falling apart, but I showed you before what I'm going to replace it with. But let's see if this will work now. So I'm going to turn on the lights. I'm going to touch this wire to that wire. See if I can get there. And woo! It works! Alright, now I just got 5 more to go. Okay, got that one fished through. Used a wire with a little hook on it. But I see they just glue that right to the roof. Okay, so I'm going to have to try to figure out some method to put the material that I bought up there. But it's a little different stuff. This stuff here is pretty woven. Herringbone, but it's like brittle, almost, it's not really a material or a fabric. It's more of a, Lord knows what. Maybe a straw? I don't know. But anyway, that's going to have to come out because that's just pure garbage now. That's too big a hole to deal with.